Also, another thing about the spiritual community, I need you to understand something about spiritual guidance and who your guides actually are and what you're tapping into. The Not every aspect of divinity has your best interest at heart, and you need to learn discernment before you go tapping in. You need to understand how these energies and how all of this is working, because you can develop a connection directly to source, like, but there's a ton of different sources. So why don't you take a look at your life, take a look at the things you're being talked into doing during this connection, and learn discernment, experiment with it a little bit, play with it, and don't let these energies completely embody you and take you over, because that's never gonna go well. That's never gonna go well. But you can become an outside channel to them. So before you go praying with your candles and using your cards and setting up your altars, why don't you do something different and gain a knowledge base before you go ahead and make the biggest mistake of your life? And then somebody has to come along and fix it, but it's too late to do anything about it in the long term. So you gotta use discernment. I mean, there are many different sources out there, but the ones that are probably going to come in the easiest and give you the guidance the easiest are the ones that are going to whisper in your ear. They don't have your best interest at heart. Divinity has, we'll call it a separation, a distance between them. They're in a battle for you. And to them, it's a game. But to us, we can choose to play an active role or separate ourselves from it. So instead of just going hog wild and, I want to invoke spirit, I'm calling Archangel, I'm calling Archangel, Azrael and Archangel, blah, 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 blah. You're calling in all the wrong things. You don't even understand where these things came from. And I think you need to get some real knowledge before you decide that your depiction of Archangel Michael is actually a warrior angel. I think you need to get some knowledge under your belt before you go and start invoking these things and calling on them to rule over your life. I think you need to gain a clearer understanding. This is just the reality of the situation. Is you can fall victim to these situations and circumstances very easily, very quickly, and those are the ones that are most readily acceptable. You have to come at this with a knowledge base first. You have to be taught first. You have to understand what you're doing before you do it, and you need to get a bigger picture of knowledge before you just go invoking a certain energy into your physical vessel, because sometimes those energies don't want to leave and they don't have your best interest at heart. That's why I made that video a while ago about if we could just educate people instead of throwing them to the wolves and seeing what happens, the world would be in a much better position. This is just common sense. This is basic understanding. This is a new way of looking at things and doing things that doesn't involve the blind leading the blind. I see it all. I have an understanding of a lot of things. So if you need a teacher or a guide, you need to go with somebody that actually understands what they're talking about. And you're seeing how all of this is happening. You're seeing how my life is unfolding. You're seeing how I was able to overcome all these obstacles without succumbing to them. That wasn't some crazy amount of power. That was knowledge. That was me taking the time to learn before I acted. It's not that complicated a process. I didn't trust what anybody else was saying, so I did research before I tried it. I found my own things. I experimented a little first with very minor scale things and saw the effects of that and how that made me feel. but I did it on a minor scale, not a grand scale to start off with without a knowledge base. I didn't let anybody guide me. I let the universe show me. So it's okay to learn. It's okay to play around a little bit with the universe. It's okay to try new things. It's okay to be open-minded. But realize that big moves are made they're made by those that already have this knowledge base. And you're not going to get to a big move place starting from the bottom. You have to take the time to know. You have to take the time to learn. You have to take the time to experiment. You have to take the time to really see and understand how things work before you just try to make a big move. That's why those shortcuts are never a good idea. They never leave you qualified. They never make the manifestation sustainable. They never make it so you're ready internally and externally to accept this new whole reality that you're calling in. And most people crumble under that weight. That's why you got to build yourself first. Build your knowledge, build your understanding, know your worth, have a better vision, a better understanding of self, and know what you can truly vibrate on the frequency of, what you're truly ready for before you receive it. Manifestation work is not just external, it's internal as well. So praying to that entity or that deity or over that candle, it might get you something. But what are you going to have to do to get it? Whereas my methods are slightly different. It's understanding you, it's building yourself, it's growing into a certain position and then receiving it because you're ready for it. It's maybe harder work, it's maybe more in-depth, it's maybe more detailed, but it comes from sustainable knowledge. It comes from a projection of internal and external growth simultaneously. It comes from the universe responding to that which I'm ready for, and holding off or delaying certain things that I wish for, but I'm not quite ready for. And sometimes these opportunities, you see them and they're there and you're like, man, I should really do that. And then you get this opportunity and you screw it up, but because that opportunity wasn't for you. It wasn't for you because you weren't for you enough to be ready for that. Be really ready and capable for handling something of that magnitude. So during my manifestation process, what I do is I get myself ready. I allow the universe to guide my path to getting me ready and teaching me all the things I need to know and doing the internal work to match that and coming into alignment for it internally before the external reflects it. Because I've learned to trust the universe. Now that I have knowledge of the universe and I have a knowledge base, I have an understanding of energies and how things work, and I have an understanding of entities and how they work, and I have direct connection to source because I've built that, because I didn't just ask for it. I listened when I got it enough to strengthen that connection. This is all because of my direct connection to source, and it's all because I showed source that not only was I willing to listen, but that I was willing to trust. And that's when we began to co-create and start working together. There are many gods. There's source, there's the God of all gods, and there's the Seraph I, and there's a whole group for that, and there's a bunch of demigods as well that will play you like a puppet and discard you. So you have to be careful. There are many demigods that are good as well. They work for the Most High, and they want what that God wants. They want what the Most High wants. But you have to use discernment. In order to use discernment, you have to learn it. So, be careful. Learn how to trust yourself. And watch your manifestations come to you when the universe knows you're ready. It's okay to do the work and be patient. It'll help you out a lot.